on, y'all? Welcome on back to the Snack Bites segment. My name is Ryan Hernia.
What's up, guys? My name's Brady, and you heard that right. This is your only place to hear controversial topics, top 5 analytical reviews. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Snack Bite videos on our Snack Run channel.
Couldn't have said it better myself. In fact, we've been trying for 20 minutes to say
You
that.
literally couldn't say it better yourself.
It feels like we only have like seconds to grab our audience sometimes, and if we don't grab them by the dick right away, they're gonna run off.
I think if you grab them by the dick, no matter what, they're gonna run off.
That's probably why I can't get a date.
Anyway, welcome back to the Snack Bite video. We have a really dope topic to talk about. Ryan, tell the audience what we're gonna be talking about today.
I'm just choking on my macchiato.
Nice.
So you've probably seen a top 5 anime fight scenes like video in the past. Maybe, got recommended to you by the algorithm, but not like this. Not like we're about to hand serve you.
We're not your mother's Watch Mojo. We are the Snack Run YouTube channel, and we do things differently here.
Oh yeah. Let them know how it is, baby girl.
Yeah, baby girl.
So usually you're like spoon-fed some food. These are more like snack bites. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. These are fight scenes that we picked off a few things, right?
Yes.
How much they meant to us.
Exactly.
How hyped they were, perhaps.
How hyped they were.
And
the last category we talked about.
And the third thing.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to break down our top 5 personal favorite fight scenes all throughout anime's history. Obviously, we know that you guys are going to agree with this. This is going to be our top 5. We're just grading.
And why?
Yeah, exactly. And we're kind of grading off like what we personally enjoy. We obviously know that there's some god tier fight scenes on there. And I already know there's topics on this list where you're going to be like, well, that was kind of an ass pick. Yeah, so what? It's an ass pick. It's fucking our top 5. Like, it's what meant to us.
Sometimes you need some ass. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I think my first couple picks, you guys are going to look at me. And you're going to be like, huh, what's that?
Have you ever been enjoying a good meal and be like, you know what, this can use some ass?
Exactly.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. We didn't talk about, like, who wants to start this up?
Also, like, we're going to say 5 each right now. There might be more in the future. There's so many. There's like a new fights that come out like almost every week. Almost.
And you know us, we're big shonen guys. So like everything has a fight scene in it nowadays. Yeah. Honestly, like you can't even fucking pick up a spoon without turning into the Attack Titan and getting fucking mobbed by a bunch of scouts. So without further ado, Ryan's gonna start us off on one of his picks for his top 5 anime fight scenes.
Clitoris okay. So
Udo, what now?
I was talking about favorite Pokemon.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Different list.
Different list. Okay,
all right. Go. So since we are both brain dead idiots, we couldn't remember any of the names. So I have my list right here. My first one's going to be from last year's fight, 2022, Demon Slayer Season 2. About the last 3 or 4 episodes, it's going to be Tengen versus the Upper Moon, Gyutaro.
Oh, man, that was a fight scene and a half. Like, honestly, it was so good.
No, I agree. This one means a lot to me for 2 reasons.
Yeah, let me hear it.
One, because I have like a hard-on for white-haired anime characters.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, three reasons.
Okay.
The animation and the fight itself was insane, and the time in my life that it was like taking place, it meant a lot to me.
Okay.
So I watched like 2 episodes of this on the beach.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah. So me and my friend at the time. I mean, we're still friends. Me and my friend, we went...
Not anymore, just at the time.
We grabbed cheeseburgers, and then we watched the sunset, and then we went to the car to watch the fight scene happen.
That's super tight.
It was a memory. It was a core memory.
Yeah, I remember that fight scene was so impactful because like you just lost another what's his face, the fire Ashura.
Rengoku.
Sorry guys, names, right? You just lost Rengoku, so now you're with this other Ashura, and you're like, oh fuck, are we gonna lose this motherfucker? This guy looks super powerful. Like, there's no way he's gonna die to this like scrawny ass green haired demon who doesn't look like he eats 2 meals a day.
Right. Yeah. He's supposed to be like a praying mantis kind of looking vibe.
Yeah.
So this one was amazing. If you haven't seen this fight scene yet, the meme is like, oh, when the studio forgets they have a budget and they just pop off. It looks really gorgeous, and I wish I saw it in theaters because they played it in theaters recently. But for 3 reasons, I love white hair characters. I might be bi. I have a core memory that goes along with this fight on the beach with the hamburgers.
Yeah.
And then just because it looks amazing.
Yeah, so, it's honestly God tier. They know what they're doing over there.
They
know, they know what they're doing over there. They're a little dick teasing us. So like, you're like, I know you want this. I'm like, okay, fine. You know I do want it. Okay. But that's a wonderful pick.
I'm not actually bi.
I mean, if you are, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, for sure.
You can super awkward about it.
Pick a lane and stick to it.
Whatever. Anyway, that's a really great one. I love the entertainment arc. Who doesn't? But let me get on to my picks for our top 5. Number 1, I think what has a really great core memory for me is, you're going to give me some weird looks. I honestly think the Gohan vs. Cell fight, perfect Cell, 100% fight, is honestly God tier. It still holds up to this day. It's one of those old school animations. You're like, it looks beautiful still to this day. Old school Cell animations. Get it? Cell. Okay, that was a joke. You didn't laugh at that.
Well, I mean, I laughed, but inwardly.
Yeah, but it's super cool. I think this has a couple different things. It still stands up to other newer fight scenes nowadays as a huge emotional draw to it. I think the biggest emotional draw to it is they were able just to convert Android 16, the big burly ginger android, back to being like a kind of a normal person who enjoys life and he enjoys nature and stuff. And he got really close to Gohan, and then fucking Cell steps on his head, and that's what snaps it for Gohan. And it has one of the best transformation sequences where Gohan was going Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 2 ever. Like, first time ever. I think that whole transition with the beautiful music in the background, and you see the birds flying in the background, and he just cuts to like a straight white line, and it fucking snaps. You see the cord snaps on it. And I just think that imagery of like Gohan being like the solid cord and just like something traumatic happening, just kind of snapping, is like really tremendous. I think not only the animation, but the story driven part and like the characters involved into this fight scene, like, was so godly. And you can't say that last fucking Kamehameha with his father, because his father just died, and comes back 2 seconds later into the father-son Kamehameha. That's just so god tier. I know, like, Dragon Ball, it has its haters,
it's pretty overrated.
Yeah, it's super overrated. It has its haters and it has its lovers, but like, you gotta admit, like, when it has good moments, it has good moments.
I will say that it was revolutionary for the time because no one else is doing that.
No, exactly.
Like they didn't invent fight scenes. They didn't invent transformations. I think they took some things to a new level. In that kind of in kind of like really paint a picture of what fight scenes can paint. And what it can look like for other scenes, other series.
100%. And I definitely like it. I'm a huge fucking sucker for like the passing of the torch. And at the time when they came out with that, it was supposed to be the passing of the torch. Like, Goku was supposed to stay dead forever, and Gohan was supposed to be the main character. Obviously, the studio didn't want that, so they had to change it. But I did like the nice passing of the torch. Kind of finishes off Goku's arc, and you're starting the Gohan, the young adult Gohan arc.
I never watched Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, that's okay.
I watched like bits and pieces.
Yeah, it was really cool. And like right after that, you got to like follow Gohan as like a teenager going to school, playing baseball and stuff. That was a really cool slice of life. What like Dragon Ball doesn't really do anymore.
Yeah, they recently did a little. Yeah, you're right. For mostly they don't do that anymore. But in the newest manga, it's about Goten and Trunks going to high school, and they go to school dance, and they fight a ghost.
I fucking love that. Just like, because you put these overly powerful characters, like all Dragon Ball characters are like planet level characters. It's just like, that's just how the story goes. But you put them in like a normal setting, like in the Buu arc at the very beginning, where you follow Gohan through like high school. He's like hiding his powers through high school, and then he jumps really high to like catch a ball. He's like, oh, eat your protein. It's kind of remind me of like a old American superhero where like Spider-Man gets hit by a train, and then he's like, I ate some carrots. Remember to eat your carrots, and then he runs off.
Yeah, and like Akira Toriyama, that's him, right? That's him. I think he is a goofy guy. I think he does want to do different stuff, but I think his studio, like you said, like you mentioned, his studios, his editors are like, fight scenes and big strong dudes, like that sells. Yeah. And I think that at his core, he's just a goofball.
No, he is. I mean, if you ever watch the original Dragon Ball, it's basically a adventure comedy, and then it kind of formed into like this big extra shonen genre later on. Yeah. But at his core, you're 100% right. He's a big goofball.
And he's a troll too. Also, one of my favorite things about the Cell Saga. Yeah. is that at one point for like 20 weeks, it was written week to week. And if you guys keep up with manga at all, they usually have their arcs like written out like months in advance.
No, yeah, and I think it was the entirety of Z.
Look at Goda.
Yeah,
like you had to appreciate good story planning.
Goda is fucking crazy. A new revelation just came out. What was like hinted at in like chapter 10. I was like, that motherfucker. But in Dragon Ball, he was fucking making the shit up as it went along.
Yeah,
like week by week.
What if like Cell had like smaller cells that came out of him and we call him like Cell Junior? I don't even know. Just fucking run it.
No, yeah. So it's definitely interesting. But I think that's gonna be my pick. The Gohan versus Cell fight is definitely a tremendous fight in all of anime.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's see. My next one is gonna be from Mob Psycho 100, Mob versus Toichiro.
Ah, that's a good one.
I think that's his name. The big boss guy from the second season.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So I love Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho. There's a few series in the world that like the general consensus can all agree it's great. And Mob Psycho
100%.
Yeah, Mob Psycho
100
is
100% like a great series.
Yes, it's one of the series that like kind of like hardcore anime lovers and like casual anime lovers, they can both agree that it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But the last 2 episodes, that's like 3 or 4 episodes of season 2, was just for the boys or just for like the shonen lovers.
Oh yeah.
This episode had an insane emotional impact because obviously Mob is always super stressed when he's fighting. He doesn't want to hit someone. He doesn't want to kill someone. And this one, you got to see the extent of his powers. They're flying through space, throwing buildings at each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that one's really cool. I think even leading up to that one, just like, because they go into, if I remember correctly, at the end of season 2, they kind of go into that mansion type house thing, and all the characters are finding their own separate characters.
That's season 1.
Oh, that's season 1. Okay, then my memory's a little bit off.
And then Reagan, accidentally takes Mob's powers.
Oh yeah,
and then slaps everyone.
Then we're fucking Reagan slapping the bitches around and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I think Mob Psycho is definitely one of those things where like it's exactly what you said. The studio sometimes forget, like, oh fuck, we have a budget. I didn't remember we had a fucking budget here.
Yeah, no one said anything about this. But this one's really good. It's always hard to see Mob, who is an extremely lovable, extremely sweet and kind character, get really pushed to his limits, and not just power wise, but like stress wise. Like he has to see his brother get hurt. He has to see his best friend and sensei get hurt. And also like leading up to this fight, there was a really other cool fight. It was like 5 dudes versus 1 person, and it was all the other sidekicks versus like one guy.
Yeah.
And the shots were insane, and like the animation's insane, and like and it's just. If you haven't watched this one yet, you can just go watch the highlights on YouTube. It's super good.
It's super good. Is it season 2? My memory's so bad. Is it season 2 where Dimple is kind of protecting like Mob's body, and then like Mob gets thrown out of a building, and like this big burly monster's trying to kill Mob, but then all the like body athlete performers, they're all like trying to protect Mob. And then Dimple takes over their body, and you're just able to see Dimple like fucking let loose in all these bodybuilders' bodies.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we're terrible at memory.
I did just watch Mob Psycho season 3. I did just watch that one. I liked it a lot.
Here's the cool thing. That could be part of Mob Psycho season 3. That could be like one of the ending scenes. But I'm pretty sure it's season 2.
Probably, yeah, season 2. Yeah. Season 3 is good. It's very, very, very simple storyline. In fact, it was so simple, no one thought it was going to be animated because there wasn't enough story. Because it wrapped up. The series wrapped up. There wasn't enough story, and it was too simple to be animated. But the studio did a great job taking like scribbles basically and turning them into like gorgeous pieces of art.
It's definitely kindergarten drawings. It's like they're just trying to translate kindergarten drawings to like actual art. And like
they're like, hey, what do you think this could be? Make it a building. Okay.
Yeah, make it a building.
make it a tree.
All right, well let me move on. Let me move on to my next one. Get this ball rolling. You know me, man. I'm a big One Piece guy. I'm a big old One Piece guy. I love my One Piece, if you weren't aware.
Do you think Ace would be a fan of like Pink and like Nezuko?
Oh yeah. Ace loves anime. Ace watch anime all the time. before, you know, his...
They have electricity in One Piece world?
Yeah, they have a lot of things. They mainly run off of snail power, so a lot of their cameras are like snail power, so it's just like snails transmitting like codes to other snails. Like their walkie-talkie, they just talk into a snail, and then it teleports to the other snail.
It feels like I asked ChatGPT to say some nonsense bullshit right now.
Yeah, that's One Piece for you.
Is that really what happens?
No, yeah, they all run off of snail power and stuff like that.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so if you take me, let's fucking go to go back to pre-time skip One Piece. We're going back to Water 7, baby, Enies Lobby. This is the arc where fucking Nico Robin, she gets fucking got. And she's like, I don't care if I get got, I want to die anyway. No one likes me, everybody hates me, blah, blah, blah. Emo girl status. And then it's the final scene where Rob fucking Lucci, the fucking Mamba Jaguar motherfuckers, taking down fucking Luffy. Luffy's getting fucking rocked. This is the first time you ever see a Gear 2, Gear 3 put in action. And Luffy's getting his fucking ass clapped. And so all the Straw Pirates are fucking down on their life. Luffy is hanging by his neck by this fucking Jaguar monster. And the Jaguar is doing a big speech that's like, Nico Robin, she's fucking nothing. She's worthless. We're gonna kill her because she doesn't mean fucking jack shit. Then Luffy fucking finds the courage in him. He's like 0 stamina. Like his HP is on like 0.1. He fucking builds up all his stamina and he starts doing like a bray of bunches in this fucking Jaguar.
Is he like red and like steaming?
He's like red and seeing. You've probably seen the clips somewhere.
Yeah.
But he's fucking going to town and he fucking knocks the Jaguar fucking senseless. But I think it's so cool because it was a lot of story building of like the world government saying, hey, your friend is worthless to us. Your friend's a piece of shit. She means nothing. And they fucking want to arrest her or kill her because she knows how to read a certain document. You're gonna fucking kill someone because they know how to fucking read a certain document? That's fucking fed up. So I think it's just a really cool one. A lot of story meaning and just fucking, you know, I love those underdog stories like motherfuckers on there, 0 HP. And they fucking able to bring up the courage and absolutely go ham on the big bad. And you could tell, and
you like rooting for the person down bad.
Yeah, 100%. The underdog, rooting for the person down bad. Mm-hmm. And I also think it's really good because you get to see the aftermath. Like Luffy couldn't fucking walk for like 60 days or something like that. He couldn't walk, he couldn't breathe. He was so like exhausted from the fight because in a lot of shonen, like they fucking have a big fight. Then next time you see them, they have like 2 bandage on them. And then
not always, but yes.
Yeah, not always. But you like, okay, did you just not have a life and death battle?
They eat like a what's called like a edamame bean or a senzu bean.
Yeah,
and they're like, all right, we're good, let's go.
Yeah, and it's also a little bit goofy because at the end of the fight, they're stuck on like this island, and all the Marines are surrounding them. And then Luffy or one of the Strad's pirate, they hear a voice, and they're like, "What's that voice?" And they all go, let's just jump into the ocean. So there's just, after the fight, they all just jump into the ocean and magically their ship appears because the spirit of their pirate ship appears out of nowhere and like rescues them.
Yeah, the Jolly Roger. What's it called? What's the ship called?
The Going Merry.
Yeah, so that was my next one, the Virgin Mary.
Yeah, the Virgin Mary. All right, well that's mine. That's my only One Piece rant I'm gonna have today.
It sounds like you really love rooting for the underdog, and that's why this one kind of meant a lot to you. And also the fact that you hate when people can read or something. I
hate it when people can read.
Okay, this next one, is gonna need some little bit of explaining.
Yeah, let me fucking explain that shit, baby.
If you follow me closely on social media, and hopefully no one does.
I don't.
Actually, you're the only person who might know this. So my next pick is Goku versus Jiren Round 2. So Mastered Ultra Instinct. Yeah.
What?
So I'm like an avid, like I'm pretty open, I'm pretty outly spoken. I'm out and proud and about that I don't love Dragon Ball. You know, I don't like to hype it up. I don't like to feed the hype.
Yeah, I mean, and you've never seen it, so you know exactly what it's all about.
I've seen most of Dragon Ball Z in like pieces, so like, I get it. You know, I get it. There's some time travel, there's some fighting, there's like a fist, and there's like a dick. So, but this one was also great for me, again, for the time in my life. So this was a point in my life, it was about, I'm not going to not get too weird, but like a lot of bad things happened to me and my family around this time. And so like every Saturday, I would have like 3 to 4 friends come over. and the girl I was dating at the time, and we would all sit down and watch Dragon Ball and Attack on Titan and play Smash Bros. So this is an every Saturday night thing. Yeah, for like 3 months. So it led up to the Goku versus Jiren, and I remember like sitting down to watch it with like a bunch of my homies, and we had a good ass time.
You're a big like personal life type of like comparison.
For sure. Yeah.
Like whatever's going on in your life, if you see something what really draws you in, that's going to mean a lot to you.
See, right. And also like when I'm drawing, if I look back at a drawing, I can tell you what I was watching.
Oh, okay.
When I'm drawing something.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of your drawings. I'm like, this motherfucker's watching Fairy Tail. I know. It's peak 2014. This motherfucker's watching Fairy Tail.
That's super weird to say. No, but yeah, I can be like, yeah, I was watching Breaking Bad for that one. I was watching Batman movie for that one. I was watching like blah 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 for that one. So this one have like a lot of emotional like weight for me. And then also it's fucking badass. Like come on. Like if this is like the fight scene.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I think one of my favorite parts in that scene was fucking I think Goku's at his fucking limit. He didn't fully master Ultra Instinct yet, but he's at his fucking limit, and then he just falls off, and everybody's like, oh, fuck, Goku fucking lost. And you just see a giant fucking beam of light, like, shooting up, and he, like, just raise up like a fucking god out of, like, this abyss, and then Jiren's like, what the fuck what's this guy tripping
there was, like,
on?
a bunch of reverb and, like, a scream added effects.
Oh, no, yeah, it was super cool. So I think that's one of the coolest, like, transformations in Dragon Ball, because it kind of built it up. Like, you were able to see, like, oh, he's definitely, like, edging towards something, but we don't know what it was. And then when he fucking, like, turned into his Ultra Instinct, it was really badass.
No, I agree. It was an amazing fight, and even at the point where Jiren like gave up basically, and then it kept going even after the fact, with Android 17 and Frieza and all working together. Oh man, the emotions, the feeling, the drive, the homies around you when Goku finally wins, it all led up to like a really great week.
I think that was really fucking cool because like the song they play to it is called Limit Breaker, and it's really cool because like you're watching like Goku fight the biggest baddest villain ever without even
he's not even a villain. He's
not
like
even
part of like the Justice Crew.
Yeah, he's not even a villain, but like he wasn't even in Super Saiyan once when like it was the last like 5 minutes of the fight. He couldn't even turn Super Saiyan, so like he was just fucking. They were all fighting at like 0%.
Yeah, and then they were all fighting with fumes.
Yeah, and then that last fucking like combined fist punch he did with Frieza side by side. Right. You saw his like Super Saiyan hair like start flickering,
like, kind of like trying to turn on.
Because like he's breaking his limits. He's breaking to go along with the song.
No, so his limits broke like 10 episodes ago.
Just like his water. It's broken.
It's everywhere.
But that's such a fucking great fight, and like like I said before, I don't care if you fucking hate, love, whatever this that of Dragon Ball. Like there is those hype moments in it.
Exactly, and no one's doing it like them in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my number 3 pick. Again, it was an emotional pick because of the time of my life, and also just because it was fucking amazing and hype.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna have to look at my computer. I can't fucking pronounce these. I'll explain what the fight is. So
Jared Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, Jared versus Tom from Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry.
Okay, for my number 3rd pick, it's going to be Itadori and Nabaru.
Nabaru?
Yeah, how do you say her name? Nabaru?
Oh,
Noribaru?
The girl?
Yeah, the girl. The fucking hammer.
I go by her other name.
Nobaruri? Oh,
Nobaruri? Say Orange Sakura.
Orange Sakura. So basically, Itadori and Orange Sakura versus Esso and Kiasuku. Man, I'm gonna get fucking wrecked online. Anyway, it's one of the last fights at the end of season 2 where they
season 1, brother. This is one season.
Oh fuck, you're so right. Anyway, so Itadori and what's her face, Orange Hair Sakura, she got fucking poisoned, and she just like turns around, she fucking smiles, and then they just start fucking going to ham on these 2 brothers. Yeah. They're like, don't fucking kill my brother. Then they hop on a truck, and you just see Ichidori like carrying her on his back, and they're just running after this fucking truck like on foot against like these 2 guys, and it was super crazy because you know what I fucking love about it? The 2 curse energy spirits, they were like, oh, these fucking chumps, we're gonna fucking kick their ass, and like there was a point as the audience where we're like, oh no, what are they gonna do? Then then just flips. It's like, oh, the fucking ball was in their park the whole time. It was super cool just to watch.
Wasn't that technique like sort of like a pain sharing technique where
it was,
like she stabbed herself a few times and then they got the pain or something?
Yeah. So basically, whatever she had a technique.
Oh, it's like whatever happened to them, it happened to them.
Yes.
Kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah. Whatever pain she gets inflicted happens to them, and I believe in it. Like one of the conspirators like doesn't do pain at all, so like that's what like fucked them up, and it was just super cool to see. I love the 2-on-2 fights, but not just like, oh, you fight and then we fight and then the winners are the winners. I fucking love it when it's like 2-on-2 and just a full-on brawl. It was so fucking good.
Right.
Definitely JJK being a peak series as it is, like kind of finishing off the season with one of those fights was really good.
Yeah, you could pick like any of the fights on that in that season to be your number 3 pick. You could pick like Megumi versus like that one cursed spirit. You could have picked like
Sukuna versus like the creepy one with the fingers, and he just fucking chops them in half.
Or even like Besto, Friendo, and Itadori versus that.
That was really good. I honestly think JJK is one of those series where like it doesn't matter which one you pick, they're all right answers.
Or even that one teacher who's also like a businessman. They fought like
they fucking jumped his ass.
Yeah,
they jumped his ass.
Boy,
I think his power is super cool, where he could kind of see the like fraction.
I think he creates your weak spot. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he creates it or he locates your weak spot. Like whatever he hits is the weakest or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, amazing fights all throughout this series, no doubt. This next one is also another emotional one. I'm just full emotion today.
Yeah, you like stuff that connects to your real life.
Can you pass the tissue box?
Yeah, there's no tissue box, so just suck it up and be a man.
My coworkers call me a pussy because I cry like over like every movie I watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't call you that. I would call you something worse, but not that.
What's worse than a pussy?
Yeah. Okay, what's your number 4 pick, Brad?
Let's see. My number 4 pick for top start over. My number 4 pick for the most hyped anime fight scenes is Deku versus Bakugo. Now,
that's out of all of MHA, you're gonna pick that one?
MHA.
Out of all of it?
Well, for a few reasons. There's stronger fights, no doubt.
Let me hear your reasons.
There's crazier, higher scale fights. Like obviously, you have like Shigaraki versus like the whole army. You have Shigaraki versus the whole army, part 3.
Obviously,
you have like All Might versus fucking Nomus and Endeavor versus Nomus. There's hyper fights.
A lot of Nomus action.
A lot of Nomus put up a fight.
Yeah.
But there is none more coming to a head than this fight. Okay. Like I think that emotionally for the story, this fight was the pinnacle of every interaction that these two characters have had comes down to this moment and this turning point. It's sort of like when two people like can't stand each other and they end up just fist fighting and then feel better afterwards.
No, 100%. You know? Yeah, I think that one's super cool because like fucking episode 1, you're like, that's Bakugo guy. Yeah, some beef with this like nerdy
what's
Deku.
What's this guy's deal?
Yeah, what's this guy's deal? And then throughout the season and the series, you guys get to see like, oh, motherfucker got trauma.
And Deku's frustrated too. He's like, dude, stop pushing me around.
Yeah, they trauma bonded together. So they're fucking bonded together. Yeah. But like, and you get to see the correlation of like all the actions leading up to like this one event. And I think this is one of the fights where I really enjoy how it fucking ends.
Well, also, right, exactly. But also, one of my favorite parts is like one of the reasons this is happening is because Bakugo really feels deep down that he is the end of All Might. Yeah. Like if he didn't get captured, if he didn't get kidnapped, if All Might didn't have to go full out one more time, they would still have All Might like at his peak, or not his peak, but like around in his muscle form.
Yes.
And so he starts crying. Like, am I the end of All Might? Am I chasing you now forever? Is this how it ends? And am I the strongest I'm ever gonna get? And Deku's like, okay, the only way that wars have never gotten to Bakugo. So it's like, okay, so like he wants to communicate. And I think our fists have to do it, unfortunately.
Yeah. What I fucking love about it, because there's two different fights going on. There's the emotional fight, what's kind of building up inside both of them, and there's also the physical fight. If you're gonna like look at it, there's two fucking winners in there. Bakugo won the physical fight, like he overpowered Deku barely. He barely overpowered Deku, and like he won the physical altercation, but Deku won the like internal mental altercation
and Deku almost won both because like he slammed him pretty good. And by the way, Deku has to be holding back too.
No,
like, he can't be breaking his jaw and killing him because he's like, all right, well, what was like 20% or 12%? He punched him in the jaw, and then he's like, all right, that's probably good. He's probably knocked out. Like Bakugo keeps fighting. Yeah. He's like, okay.
So it's definitely two different fights, and I think like that's what makes it a great fight because it's more than just fists. It's like an emotional draw to it.
Yeah, and it's like their therapy, I would think, and Bakugo doesn't learn from other way, so he has to kind of go through some shit to learn the hard way. Anyway, so that's my number 4 pick. Again, not the most like planet busting fight, but I
think it definitely has. It's one of the more like emotional pick,
heart busting.
I think that's what makes it really great.
For sure.
It was kind of weird because this is kind of the opposite of my next pick.
Okay,
because my next pick is basically there's a little like more story elements to it. My next pick is just it's fucking good to watch. It's fun to watch.
Yeah,
that's gonna be from One Punch Man, Saitama versus Gino.
This is so good.
Yeah,
this was so good.
It's so good. One Punch Man is great. I would say there's some story elements in One Punch Man, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a gag shonen. It's just like funny. But
how dare they look so good too?
How dare they fucking look that great? This fight, Genu versus Saitama, looks amazing. Middle of the desert, so they have all these landscapes. You see the fucking bricks forming and stuff. You know that all the animators love doing that technique nowadays. Whenever they punch the ground and all the bricks go, it weights
breaks off like a super even amount of squares.
I forget what animator like started making that very popular, but like all animators do that nowadays.
Endeavor did it with his spider finger technique.
Fucking animators love that shit nowadays. But anyway, I think it's really great. Like, there's not going to be any crazy story elements, but I do love how it fucking sets the standard. I was like, this is your fucking main character.
Right.
You don't fucking knock heads with this motherfucker. Because, like, Gino, you kind of see, like, he has all these robotic upgrades. He looks so super cool and intimidating, but to this little goofball, he's absolutely nothing. So I think that's what I love about it. Like, it sets the standards, and it's just so pleasing to watch. It's so visually, like, entertaining to watch, and like they fucking put 200 frames in like 1 second of the fight. It was like, what's the point for that?
Yeah, and there was a lot of great shots too, like the point where Gino was like flying towards One Punch Man with a kick, and then he dodges, and then you see the kick like huge and a cool like fish eye lands against the viewer. That was a cool scene. The part where he was flying around shooting him from above, and he's like, why am I not hitting him? And he's like, am I chasing an after image? Where is he actually?
Yeah. I fucking love the one where kind of Saitama's doing the final punch, and Gino's eyes, it looks like this giant master punch. Like, it looks gigantic to him, but in all actuality, he's just some like little guy.
Right, and I think this fight scene was important. Right. Like I've been saying, a lot of my scenes have been driven from the emotional aspect or the buildup of it. But this one is just as important because one, obviously, it looks great. Right, we all love that shit. Two, it really kind of scopes out. It kind of really gauges Saitama's strength.
No, yeah.
Like you said, with the fist and how big his fist was compared to Gino, like that kind of shows him the mountain of difference between the two. And then he punches him, pulls back right at the last second, and he turns around, and the mountains are destroyed.
The mountain's just destroyed. So, like, he would know, like, if he fucking landed that punch, Gino's no more.
He'd be watching from heaven.
Yeah. They're going to be missing, like, an S-rank hero at that point.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's kind of my number 4 pick. That's more of the, like, visually, like, enjoying ones. Like, it doesn't have the biggest story one, but there are some story elements in there.
And that's okay. How's the hot dog looking?
Hot dog, man. Totally hot dog. I mean, we're doing our last one.
We did like 5 minutes or like 10 minutes worth of a goofing off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably shave it down 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, my last pick, I'm going to edit all that out. So my last pick.
No, let's keep it in.
Okay, sure, yeah. Talking about hot dogs and anime.
No, I'm kidding.
That should be a fun event. Like a block event, hot dogs and anime.
We just roast up some dogs and talk about anime.
Yeah.
Hot dogs and anime.
Forget the whole midnight snack thing. That's bullshit. Hot dogs in the anime. Okay, so a restaurant with hot dog themed like character themed hot dogs. Like you have the Frieza hot dog and it's purple with a white bun. Oh. And you hand it to the customer, and you'd be like, you know, your Frieza laugh.
You do a little Rengoku hot dog, and it's just a hot dog with a hole in it.
Fucked up. Dude, Ace the same thing.
Yeah, exact same thing. A lot of anime characters die like that.
Yeah, and then sometimes they keep fighting for a while too, which does make sense because like
bunch of bitches.
When their spine be ruptured, they can really move well without spine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Am I dumb or do I not need a spine?
Is that what you're questioning? Not the fucking demons running Mach 10. That's what you're questioning about their internal spine and how that works. Not the fucking demons and like fucking magical sword
Well, if you think
styles.
about it, Ace could have just went like, you know, all fire body and like, you know, tanked the attack, but he didn't. So whatever.
Well, no, because
really shitty story. Right. So my last pick is going to be Asta and Yami versus Dante. I don't think you've seen this fight.
Oh, that's crazy. It's kind of a shit fight, but go on.
So salty. So this one has like I would say like a medium slice of emotional impact and like a big huge like action boner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, explain it a little bit more. Like,
you haven't seen this one?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. So, like, what's going on in the fight?
They're invaders. So there's a kingdom next to the Clover Kingdom called this. I want to say the Spade Kingdom.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, we're tired of being second fiddle, and so they send like 4 of their strongest royals or 3 of their strongest royals over to the Clover Kingdom to fuck them all up. One of them is being Dante. Dante is the oldest of the Ugrati siblings, I want to say. And he's like, all right, we're just gonna take out like everyone's like magic squad. We're starting with the Black Bulls, and then he takes out all the Black Bulls. And then Asta gets there, and he's like, oh fuck no. And then like he goes like you know, they're his savage mode where most main characters have like you know like Naruto has his like demon form and like fucking some other people, and so Yami shows up and he is like the teacher, and he's like, all right, calm down, we're gonna do this together. Because Dante is like an insane bad guy. He can regenerate like pretty fast. And so it's a student teacher team up, which I know you love.
Yeah, I fucking love those.
Dude,
I love those.
I know, dude. You got a rager.
The first
for that.
My Hero movie where it's fucking All Might and Deku. I was like, ooh, I love this shit.
Yeah, and then Luffy and Whitebeard versus Kaido.
I don't think...
Did this happen yet?
Yeah, I don't think you
haven't got there yet. No worries. But so Yami was the first person to believe in Asta. In the 4th episode, he's like, "You're really weird.
Yeah.
Get on my team, kid." And so he shows up, and it's been like I want to say like a year since they first met, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna do this together." And so Asta blows back the attacks, and Yami gets in the slashes.
Yeah.
And so at one point, they're overwhelmed by slashes or by Dante's attacks, and they're all coming from every angle. And then Asta has to use all his swords. Like, he has 4 swords or 3 swords, and he uses all 3 of his swords to like block all the attacks from hitting them. And then he runs out of swords at one point, and then at the last second, Yami throws his katana over to Asta.
That's cute.
And then he like goes in for the last slash. And then Yami picks him up, like, you did good, kid. You did good.
That's like a good like teacher, mentor with its student.
Yeah, it was a fantastic, amazing fight. Probably the best, I would say, the best in Black Clover, especially because they added a bunch of scenes.
That's awesome.
You look at One Piece, how they add a lot of like great scenes to like kind of fluff up the manga, what happened in the manga.
Yeah, just kind of add a little bit more detail to the actual action fight and stuff.
Exactly. So this one was the same thing. They added like so many gorgeous scenes, so many great team up moments where they like jumping off each other and like doing barriers for each other and like doing dark slashes and like bouncing attacks off each other.
I fucking love those type of fights where like it's 2 people working as like one person and they're kind of like helping each other out, like fighting with each other. It's basically like you're watching one person fight, but it's like actually 2 people.
Kind of like Itadori and that one guy we can't remember his name.
Yeah, Ichidori and his best friendo.
And also the business guy.
And the business guy.
Yeah. Oh, and Toto with the Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie.
That's the name of the building, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he just does this and like he bounces around.
Yeah, JJK is really fucking good at those. Yeah. But that sounds fucking so hype, man.
I'll have to show you after this.
Yeah, so hype. Well, let me wrap up. We're kind of getting to the end, so I'll wrap up with my final pick.
Yeah, brother, man. What's your final pick?
I don't know if you ever heard of a little anime called Baki Hanma. But Baki Hanma is an absolutely stellar...
There's a new anime coming out for that soon.
I know. I'm fucking hyped. He's finally facing off his dad, and he's going to get his fucking shit rocked.
And also there's a guy from like ancient times, they unfreeze. From an iceberg.
But Baki Hanma, I'm sure you know a little bit about Baki Hanma. Not sure how much you watched of it, but it is... magnificent, bro. It is absolutely god tier. So the fight I'm kind of talking about is Baki versus number 2. Have you heard about this fight?
I only watched I've only watched the prison season.
That's it. Yeah, that's number 2.
Is that the guy who like engulfs him in muscles?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, for sure. Yeah.
So Baki versus number 2. Just to give you guys a little rundown, fucking the world is based off of like the top 3 strongest fucking fighters. His dad's number 1, and then so Baki, he gets himself arrested by kidnapping the president, and then he was like, Mr. President, I'll let you go if you send me to the worst prison there ever is. So they fucking send him to fucking middle of nowhere, Arizona, locks him up in a prison. Baki goes there on purpose to fight the number 2 strongest
so weird
guy.
how it's in Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's nothing in Arizona, so if they escape where they're going.
There's less in New Mexico.
But, oh yeah, fucking.
And Utah.
Who cares about New Mexico? But anyway.
Or Utah.
Exactly. He really wanted to get that Utah thing in, so.
My ex lives there now. She's not watching this, but.
Okay. Anyway, so it kind of sets the standard of this number 2 guy being this badass guy. But what I really like about it, because it really sets like, Baki's just fucking toying with him the whole time. And you don't know that he's toying with him until it comes to the very end, because there gets to a point where Baki gets locked up in these like finger cuffs. So they lock your thumbs together, because your thumbs are like one of the weakest, or it was like pinkies, and they're one of your weakest bones in your hands, and they locked them. So he's like gripped like this, so he's helpless. He's just on the floor. Number 2 walks in and is like, I hope you know this is my prison. He doesn't talk like that. He's like a big, brilliant black man, but he doesn't talk like that. And then he's like, you know what, you're scum. And then he just whips out his dick and starts peeing on Baki. And then Baki's just letting it happen. He's like, I don't know if you know who I am. And he fucking just breaks it, and then it's just fucking on to the races. And Baki's just fucking wailing on him, fucking. So I like it because it's like kind of manipulating like his mind.
Well, it's kind of weird though, because like that guy, number 2, the gentleman, he's like, if I remember correctly, he's not a bad guy.
No, he's not.
For most of the season.
No, and that's the thing. He's not a bad guy. He just wants to, like, insert his dominance. Because he's the strongest guy, but he's locked up in that prison, but he's not really locked up. He has personal chefs. He has butlers. He has his own mansion inside of the prison. He could leave and go whenever he wants, but he's, like, technically a prisoner. But he's so strong that, like, the prison can't contain him, so he makes the prison his bitch. Mm-hmm. So Baki comes on his turf and let him know, like, hey, you don't run this anymore. I run this.
And his like, I think his wife or his engaged girlfriend, she used to be hot, and now she's like really, really fat.
Yeah, she's like super, like, she's as big as like a building, and then like Baki's like flirting with her and stuff, and that makes him really mad because Mr. Number 2 like fucking loves his wife. But that one's a really fucking great scene, and there's no like super crazy powers. There's some weird powers because Mr. 2.
There's definitely some like really,
interesting,
really stretched
weird,
out truths.
Yeah, like Mr. 2 turns into like a giant muscle ball, and he wraps himself up for like self-defense and stuff like that. But it's just such a great fight because like it really just shows like Baki Hanma is fucking manipulating this motherfucker. And that is such a great story because like the whole story is based off like Baki trying to fight his dad, so it's leading up to like this big bad fight in the next season.
What I was gonna say is that I mean, you probably didn't watch it, but I sent you a video recently. Meat Canyon. I guess that's one of his favorite animes.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he doesn't like anime.
It's more than an anime; it's lifestyle.
Right. That should be a shirt. Anime ? More like a lifestyle.
More like a lifestyle, man.
But yeah, man. So that's been. We should really say hype fight scenes. More like our personal favorite fight scenes. That's been ours.
I hope you guys liked it. If you guys didn't like it, go on Watch Mojo. They have really good lists, but that's just ours.
You're so weird. If you didn't like our video, go watch another video. That's okay.
Yeah, they're a lot better than ours. So like, I'm very transparent about it.
So weird. It's like you're so funny. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, we know we're not the best channel around, but we're happy you're here.
Yeah, we know that we're technically not even a channel, but we're happy you're here.
We did the paperwork. We did the classes.
Ryan, you forged your signature. You forged your own signature. That's how illegal it was.
I'm looking around. Ryan. I hate you. Well, brother, that's all the time we have today. I have to go see a guy about a thing.
Yeah, go have fun buying your drugs.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.